video really is the future because people want to be engaged, and we can't just have people on TikTok or watching videos only made by leftists. So I definitely
No.
agree with you there. But I wanted to end by asking you a little bit about being a Navy intel officer. What did you kind of learn from within when you were doing intelligence and kind of seeing things more from the inside as far as how the intelligence community operates?
So I guess there's what I learned and what I was doing. So I focused mainly on East Asia, deployed to East Asia multiple times, and with the Office of Navy Intelligence, and then also conducted deployment at Guantanamo Bay in the interrogation cell there. And what's interesting to me, though, is there's the image of the intelligence community that you might get from, I feel like every other movie, every other TV show is some intel agent, special agent kind of thing. And then you realize that none of that's real. It doesn't exist anywhere, well, outside of Hollywood, right? Jack Bauer's not real. Terminal List isn't real. Take Your Zero Dark 30 was completely fictional.
You mean you're
Um,
not from the Bourne Ultimatum or one of
yeah,
those
but also,
trilogies?
and certainly our special forces community is real, and I'm not saying that's not real, but and I did have the opportunity to work with special forces on a number of occasions, but the idea that our intel community is anything other than regular college educated Americans that are watching TV news, and predominantly, by the way, in the intel community, the TV that they're watching, it's CNN,
Mm.
it's Washington Post, it's New York Times, it's MSNBC in many cases. And so what happens, predominantly in DC, and this is the one thing I could really say that I've learned, is that when you're out in the field, they have a pretty good sense of what's going on. But when that intel comes back to Washington, D.C., then gets synthesized, then gets sent to the president, to Congress, to the Senate, wherever it's going, Pentagon, it's gone through so many layers that it's become politically sanitized to whatever the agenda of those agencies or the agenda that's set down from them by the White House is. And so if you talk to the on the ground collectors, they'll usually tell you what's going on, or, hey, this is, we got some intel in, but it's basically rumor level. It hasn't been corroborated yet. We shouldn't put that up. But the system by in which that intelligence is given to our lawmakers, is given to the president, I actually think it's broken. I think it's
Yeah.
completely broken, and there's so many reforms that we need for that community. I do believe that we should have a national security situation, a national security structure in our country, but I think it needs to be vastly reduced. I think we need to consolidate to something more along the lines of the UK standard, where you have one agency for internal, one agency for external, and then we talked about FBI earlier. Take intel